Hi guys, welcome to my channel. How are y'all doing today? I am back on here today for week 4. It's almost done, oh my gosh, of Tradtober. I am actually walking around a cemetery as I record this, so obviously I'm outside. It's a little windy, so bear with me, okay? I really wanted to come here today and record this. So, like I said, week 4 of Tradtober. This week is all about the restless dead. And the restless dead are spirits, humans that have died, who haunt the land. And these are not people that are related to us necessarily. These are not witches of the past. These are just spirits, random spirits of the once living that haunt the land. So, the prompts this week are a lot of fun because we get to talk about paranormal experiences that we've had, and a couple of other things. So I'm going to answer the other 2 questions first, and then I'll get to paranormal experiences, okay? So, one of the questions is my feelings on ghost hunting. So, I love it. I have no problem with it, but I don't call it that. I call it necromancy because that's exactly what you're doing. You're communicating with the dead. Any sort of paranormal investigation or ghost hunting, you are practicing necromancy, period. So that's what I call it. And as a witch, as a death witch, as a trad witch, I'm here for it. I'm all about it. I love it. So yeah, that's my feelings on that. I don't really so much anymore, but I used to watch a lot of paranormal investigation YouTube channels. I don't really so much anymore, just because I feel like there's like a lot of like witch panic propaganda and a lot of like Satanist propaganda too. And that kind of like gets under my skin. It gets kind of annoying. So I got kind of tired of that and I stopped watching them. But for the most part, I mean, it's still, it's still pretty cool. I just don't like to watch those channels anymore because of that. But I myself love to practice necromancy. And yeah, I love necromancy. So yeah, that's my feelings on that. One of the other questions was, let's see, what was one of the other questions? Before I get to that, I really want to point this out. In this cemetery, right behind this cemetery, let me see if you guys can see it. It's all covered in leaves right now, but there's a creek. And it's just so beautiful. I love it here so much. Anyway, favorite cemetery and why was one of the other questions. And I have 2 favorite cemeteries that I really like to go to here in Indiana. One is the one I'm at right now. I really like this cemetery. For one, well, because of the creek. I love like the liminal space of like the creek behind the cemetery. And there's like a lane that goes in between the cemetery and what used to be a field. They're building over it now. It pisses me off. But anyway, I just love the vibes here. But most importantly, I love it because there's a lot of random stuff right there. But also I love it because it's my local cemetery. And as a trad witch, I feel like you should get to know not only the land, but all the spirits of the land. And you should build some sort of rapport with your local spirits, right? So that's why I love this cemetery so much. That's like the most important reason why I love this cemetery so much, is because it's my local cemetery. And I think it's very important to come here, pay my respects, communicate with spirits, build rapport, build a relationship. There's a couple of spirits here that I have a relationship with. And I was finally able to, I've been here several times, and I was finally able to, for the first time today, collect some graveyard dirt from here at a crossroads. And I was able to do that. I felt comfortable, perfectly comfortable doing that this time around because I've been here so much. And the spirits here know who I am. Well, they don't like know me super well, but you know what I mean? I'm not a stranger. So, you know, and I've built a relationship with a couple of spirits here. The gatekeeper of the cemetery knows who I am. So I feel comfortable doing that. I didn't even question it. Yeah. That's what I would say too. If you're wanting to collect graveyard dirt, I would not do it at a brand new cemetery that you've never been to before. Personally, I would do it at a graveyard that you've been to a couple of times and when it feels right to do so. And even then, I would take it from a crossroads the first time. And then when you feel like you have built a relationship with a specific spirit and you ask their permission, that specific spirit, if you want to take dirt from a specific grave, I feel like you need to ask permission and build a relationship first. Okay? You don't want to piss anyone off and then someone comes home with you. Okay? That's another thing too. If you're going to come to a cemetery and do any kind of spirit work or necromancy or collect graveyard dirt, veil yourself, protect yourself, cleanse yourself afterwards. Okay? I've heard a lot of stories of people not taking the proper precautions and not being respectful, and they pay for it. Okay, so just so you know, if you're new to this kind of stuff. Okay. All right. So, and I want to talk about the other cemetery that I really like. The other cemetery I really like that I still need to go to this year is it's about an hour-ish, 45 minutes-ish away from here where I live. And it's where a bunch of my beloved dead are buried. A lot of my family members on my dad's side are buried there. And I've actually filmed there, did some necromancy a couple of times actually. So I can try to tag those videos down below. But it's beautiful. I love it just because of the beloved dead. So much of my family is buried there. But it's also just beautiful. It's really a beautiful cemetery. And also I really like it because of the land that it's on. Apparently my family on my dad's side, someone used to own that land and they started the cemetery on that land. I think actually it's technically a graveyard because there is a church. I don't know. I don't know if the church owns it or I'm not sure how that works over there. But yeah, I really like that graveyard over there too. Oh, by the way, wanted to show you guys my earrings, my fit check, got my black lipstick on, got my fuck you Nazis, my witch pin, my pleather jacket. I'm feeling myself. Okay. So then the last question for this week is paranormal. What are some paranormal experiences that you've had? So, I was so excited for this week. All right. So I've already shared, the last house I lived at was haunted. No one can convince me otherwise. It was fucking haunted. So many things went down there. I already shared, I think a couple of different times. Like there was one live, I shared it, but there was one video for Samhain that I already shared some experiences that I had in that house. So again, I will tag that video. That's also one of the same videos I went to that other cemetery too. So I will try to tag that video down below. I'll probably pin it in the comments because I'm uploading this on my phone. It's just easier to do it that way. So those links will be in the comments somewhere. and I'll pin it. But yeah, that house was haunted. Okay, period. I love talking about it, and I would talk about it again, but I don't want to bore everyone and repeat myself. So, but that being said, I have some new paranormal experiences that I would like to share. Okay. I have 3 paranormal experiences I would like to share. The first one is, for those of you who don't know, I am, how can I share this without giving away too much information? Well, I'll just say, let's just say I have a camera in my house. I'll just say that. I have a camera in my house, okay? And I can see the live footage on my phone. I have an app that's connected. Whatever, you get it. Well, one night, I see this fucking glowing orb. And I recorded it on my phone. If I can find that also, I'm going to upload that as a separate short. I can try. I don't know. No promises, though. I don't know if I can figure that out. But anyway, I saw a glowing orb flying around in the room. I was like, what in the hell? And it wasn't just like, all the time a million times I've seen like a cobweb or something because I need to dust or something. I've seen like a cobweb once. I've seen bugs flying around, like a little gnat or something. Or like maybe like a speck of dust will fly by the screen or something like that, right? This was something that had like intelligence. It literally would like fly and then it would go left and then it would go right and then it would go up and then it was like flying around. I was like, is that just like a bug? It almost looked like a fucking like fairy. It had like this like trail dust like tail. It was weird. So I go into the room where this camera is recording. I'm like, I gotta see this with my naked eye, right? Of course I can't see anything with my naked eye. But I'm still looking at the live recording on my phone while I'm in there. And I'm like looking at it and I put my hand underneath where I see it. And it's like on the live recording, I can see it on top of my hand. So it's above me. And it's like the camera's like looking down, right? I don't know if this is making sense. But I put my hand underneath it. And as soon as I put my hand underneath it, it flies away from me. I'm not kidding. It was the most bizarre. It was very much, this was probably 2 years ago, around this time, October. So it was very much giving like Red Soul, like the veil is thinning, ancestral vibes, like looking out for me and my family. It was wild. It was wild. And it's never happened since. Never happened since. Nothing like that has happened since. It was so wild. Anyway, that was one. Second experience was, so all of these experiences, whatever. I'm a parent. I'm sure many of you know that by now. If you've been following me for a while, of course you know that by now. I don't like to share too much about it just for his safety, but that the first one was on the baby camera. But this next one was this next one happened to him like not, it wasn't like on the baby camera, it was like in person. So I was in the bedroom. My child was asleep next to me. And if those of you who don't know, I have 2 kids. My first child passed away. They were, trigger warning, okay? Here's a trigger warning. You can click away right now if you want to. She was a stillbirth. I've shared that. Anyway, I have her urn in our bedroom, okay? I have her urn in our bedroom up in the corner. My child now waves to her all the time, says, hi, sissy, says, thank you, sissy, says, sissy's funny. I swear, like, they talk. It's wild. That's a story in itself. Like, I see him all the time waving to her, and it's so beautiful to see. But anyway, there was one night I was, like I said, laying next to him, and all of a sudden I see about the height of like a 3-year-old child, a shadow dart across the room. And as soon as the shadow passed my child who was sleeping, he jumped like out of his sleep and then started crying. So I really feel like that was my firstborn, because I feel like they do tend to like, I have felt like a couple of times she's gotten a little bit jealous, just like his older sibling, and he's the baby, right? So I have felt a couple of times that she's gotten a little bit jealous, and siblings will be siblings and pick on each other, right? So I really feel like that was her kind of like picking on him a little bit. It wasn't anything like super mean. He didn't get hurt or anything like that. But I think that was her like picking on him, because, yeah. But as soon as that little shadow went past him, he jolted and woke up and started crying because it scared him. Is that a bone? Oh, it's a stick. Damn it. So that's another experience. Let's see. What was the next one? Oh, geez, oh my God, this has to do with my kid too. This one's so fucking annoying. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This is one reason I don't just willy-nilly work with infernals anymore. But I used to work with infernals a lot, and I still do. I have mad respect for infernals. I think that, they're ancient gods. They are. I mean, they're ancient gods. I think they can be extremely helpful. I think that they can be wonderful guides. So absolutely no disrespect. I do, however, in my personal experience, have found out that not every infernal is your friend. And does that mean that they're evil? No, not necessarily. It just means there are going to be some infernals that you're not going to get along with. Just like there are some people that you're not going to get along with. Okay? So, found that out the hard way. There was one infernal. I'm not going to say their name just because I don't know. My gut's telling me not to. But I worked with them for a while. The relationship, I don't know. It just wasn't for me. I don't think they were really into it. So I just stopped working with them because that's right. I had like a tarot card out. I have a demon tarot deck. And I put their tarot card away because I felt like the relationship was just done. And I've had other infernals before where, and it's like I've worked with several infernals before. So inevitably, there's been a couple that have just walked away because I didn't put enough into the relationship, or the relationship wasn't working, or whatever, right? And so I felt like that was the case this time around. So I just put his tarot card away. He did not like that. He did not like that. He was very fucking mad that I did not have a conversation with him first before I did that. Very stupid I will take accountability. Very stupid on my part. He started harassing my child at night, and my child would wake up screaming and crying. And he would stare at something in the doorway and would not stop staring at something in the doorway and screaming and crying. And this happened a few times. And there was one time, the last time that it happened, Balaam spoke to me, and I was like, it's you, isn't it? He was like, yeah. And I asked him what he wanted. He said, you need to leave me an offering. Did I just say his fucking name? I'm so bad at that. Whatever. It's okay. I think it's okay. But anyway, I was like, okay, what do you want? And they were like, I want you to leave me an offering every full moon, just like you do for Leviathan. Leave me an offering every full moon until the fall equinox. Until the harvest moon, basically. And I was like, okay. And he's like, if you do that, then I'll leave you guys alone. But you need to make it up for me. Yeah, make it up to me by doing that. I said, okay, whatever. So I did. And ever since I've been doing that, and ever since I followed through on that, it's been fine. But yeah, lesson learned. Just lesson learned on my part. I used to be someone who thought that every infernal was harmless and that they all just have a bad reputation. And they do all have a bad reputation, but I am of the opinion that demons, out of any spirits, out of any entities, out of any gods, demons really are, and I don't mean like human ghost spirits with the exception of them. Demons are the closest thing to humans. They understand us the best, really, out of any like gods or anything like that. They understand us the most, and they are the most like us in a way. So there's going to be some demons that you're not going to vibe with, like at all. That's what I've learned. And any other person that I've talked to, any other witch or occultist that I've talked to who work with infernals, definitely feel the same way. Again, that doesn't mean I think some of them are like super evil or bad or anything like that. It's just a matter of vibing, you know? And if you go about some things the wrong way, just like people, you're gonna maybe accidentally piss one off. So if you work with infernals, or you're about to work with infernals, or you want to learn about working with infernals, just be respectful. Do your research on demons before you work with them. But yeah, that's not what this video is about. Anyway, those are my paranormal experiences. This is this whole video. I'm out of breath now because I've been walking. It's so beautiful here. So I guess that's it for today, you guys. I'm going to come back next week and wrap things up. I am so fucking sad that October is almost done. Usually by now in October, I'm like over it. I'm like, okay, I'm ready for Yule. Like, I'm already ready for like winter solstice vibes. I'm already ready for like, you know, like, but not this year. I'm like, I want October for another month, but alas, it does not work that way. So anyway, I will come back next week for the wrap up, the reflections, hopefully for a more proper video that's more like edited. And that'll be it for Tradtober. It's so crazy. Anyway, guys, I'll see you then. I'm so sorry I just burped. I'll see you guys then. And until next time, I hope you stay very well and don't forget to follow the snake. Bye.